Pakistan is a country most people think they already understand. A name shaped by headlines, framed by fear, reduced to fragments of conflict and crisis. But that version of Pakistan is incomplete, because this land is not simple. It is extreme, vast, ancient, contradictory, and quietly extraordinary. It is a place where the tallest mountains on earth rise so sharply they seem to tear the sky apart, where deserts burn hotter than almost anywhere else in Asia, where lakes appear overnight after the ground collapses beneath entire villages. It is a land where civilizations rose thousands of years before Europe learned to build cities, and where silence still dominates landscapes untouched by time. Pakistan is younger than most people realize, yet its roots reach deeper into history than almost any modern nation. Long before borders were drawn, before flags were raised, this land was already shaping humanity itself. Along the banks of the Indus River, one of the world's first great civilizations emerged. The Indus Valley. Civilization was not primitive nor chaotic. It was advanced, organized, and astonishingly modern. More than 4,000 years ago, cities like Mohenjo-daro were built with grid systems, drainage networks, public baths, and standardized weights. While much of the world was still experimenting with survival, people here were engineering urban life. Tens of thousands lived in structured harmony, guided by systems so refined that archaeologists still struggle to explain how they were achieved without modern tools. And yet today, Mohenjo-daro sits largely forgotten. One of the greatest ancient cities on Earth, barely visited, quietly eroding under the sun. Its silence raises a troubling question. How does a civilization that once educated the world become invisible to it? History in Pakistan is not confined to textbooks. It rises from the ground, carved into stone, hidden in valleys, etched into mountains. Travel north, and the landscape begins to shift dramatically. The plains tighten into valleys, the air thins, the road climbs, and suddenly you are driving through the sky. The Karakoram Highway is not just a road. It is a statement of human defiance against nature. Built at altitudes exceeding 4,700 meters, it cuts directly through some of the most dangerous terrain on the planet. Avalanches, landslides, earthquakes, and sub-zero temperatures claimed the lives of thousands who built it by hand. Yet it stands, connecting Pakistan to China across the Himalayas and Karakoram ranges, earning its name as the eighth wonder of the world. Below this road lie valleys carved by ice and fire. Above it loom peaks so high they create their own weather. Among them is K2, the second highest mountain on Earth and arguably the most dangerous. Unlike Everest, K2 offers no easy routes, no commercial ladders, no margin for error. Climbers who attempt it face sudden storms, brutal winds, and a death rate far higher than any other major peak. But Pakistan's extremes are not confined to cold and altitude. In the southern regions, the heat becomes almost unreal. In the town of Turbat, temperatures once reached 53.7 degrees Celsius, the hottest ever recorded in Asia. At such heat, survival itself becomes a daily negotiation. The air shimmers. Metal burns to the touch. Life slows to endure. And yet, less than 1,000 kilometers away, glaciers stretch for dozens of miles. The Baltoro Glacier flows like a frozen river through a valley of giants. Over 60 kilometers long, it is one of the largest glaciers outside the polar regions. Its ice creaks and groans as it moves, millimeter by millimeter, beneath peaks that have stood for millions of years. Among these extremes lies something even more unexpected: a desert made of snow. Near Skardu, the Katpana Desert defies logic. Sand dunes sit frozen beneath icy winds at over 2,000 meters above sea level. It is one of the coldest deserts on Earth, a place where the crunch underfoot is not heat-baked sand, but frost. Nature in Pakistan does not always move slowly. Sometimes it changes everything in a single moment. In 2010, a massive landslide in the Hunza Valley buried an entire village and blocked a river. The water had nowhere to go, so it rose. Day after day, it swallowed roads, homes, and fields. Within weeks, a lake had formed where none had existed before. Atabad Lake is now over 20 kilometers long, its turquoise waters reflecting jagged peaks. Tourists glide across its surface, photographing its beauty. But beneath that beauty lie submerged houses, drowned memories, and a community displaced forever. It is a reminder that in Pakistan, creation and destruction often arrive together. This land also carries time on a scale difficult to comprehend. In Balochistan, exposed rock formations date back nearly 3 billion years. These stones existed before complex life, before plants, before animals, before the continents took their current shape. They are silent witnesses to a planet still forming, resting openly beneath the sun. Despite its vastness, Pakistan remains overlooked. Even its gateways to the sky are unknown to many. Skardu Airport, one of the highest in the world, sits surrounded by towering peaks. Pilots must navigate narrow valleys and unpredictable weather to land. Flights are cancelled often. When they succeed, passengers step out into a world that feels closer to space than to cities. And cities do exist. Karachi, sprawling along the Arabian Sea, is one of the largest urban centres on Earth. Home to more than 20 million people, it pulses with contradiction. Wealth and poverty, tradition and modernity, chaos and creativity. It is not polished, but it is alive, carrying the energy of survival and ambition in every street. Pakistan is a land of paradoxes. It holds the remains of the ancient Buddhist kingdom of Gandhara, yet it is an Islamic republic. It shelters peaceful Sufi shrines and brutal battlefields. It is feared for instability, yet renowned among travellers for hospitality so generous it borders on overwhelming. And to understand Pakistan fully, one must leave the cities behind again. One must travel to places where roads test courage and reward it with silence. To reach Fairy Meadows, travellers must cross one of the most dangerous roads in the world. A narrow dirt track clings to a sheer cliff, offering no guardrails, no second chances. Below is a drop of hundreds of metres into nothing. Those who make it arrive at a place that feels unreal. Green meadows at high altitude, wildflowers, yaks grazing peacefully. And above it all, one mountain dominates the horizon. Nanga Parbat, the 9th highest mountain on Earth, known as the Killer Mountain, not because it looks threatening, but because it deceives. Its massive south face is the tallest vertical rock wall in the world. Climbers have vanished here. Many were never found. Those who survive often say the same thing. You do not conquer Nanga Parbat. It allows you to leave. From its shadow, the journey continues into Hunza Valley, a place long isolated by mountains, shaped by time rather than war. Here, apricot trees bloom beside stone homes. Education thrives, women read and lead, health outcomes defy expectations. Myths of extraordinary longevity swirl around the valley, but the truth may be simpler. Clean air, physical movement, community, diet, peace. The landscape itself seems to slow time. Jagged peaks rise above calm rivers, villages cling to cliffs, and then the mountains sharpen into something almost unreal. The Pasu cones rise like stone cathedrals, symmetrical, dramatic, almost artificial in their beauty. They feel designed rather than formed, yet they are entirely natural. Farther north lies Kunjarab Pass, the highest paved international border crossing on Earth. At nearly 4,700 metres, the air is thin and unforgiving. There are no cities here, no crowds, just wind, ice, and the quiet knowledge that you are standing on the roof of the world. Descending again brings you to Skardu, a gateway town between worlds. Barren peaks surround ancient forts, orchards, and rivers of glacial melt. Nearby lies the Deosai Plains, one of the highest plateaus on Earth. For much of the year, it is empty and harsh, but in summer, it blooms. Wildflowers carpet the land, marmots run through grass. Himalayan brown bears roam protected terrain once close to extinction. As night falls here, the sky opens completely. Without light pollution, galaxies stretch overhead. It is a place that humbles without threatening, reminding visitors of their scale in the universe. The journey eventually leads south again, into history carved in stone. Lahore Fort stands as a monument to empires that once ruled much of the subcontinent. Within its walls are palaces, mosques, and chambers layered with stories of power and betrayal. Nearby, the Shalimar Gardens were designed as a vision of paradise, water flowing through terraces engineered to cool the air in brutal summers. Towering beside them is the Badshahi Mosque, vast and dignified. Once used as a military garrison during colonial rule, it was later restored as a symbol of identity and resilience. Its courtyard can hold over 100,000 worshippers. When prayer echoes here, it resonates beyond sound. Not far away rises Pakistan, marking the place where an idea was declared that would eventually become a nation. Its design tells a story of struggle, progress, and hope. Rough stone at the base, polished marble at the top. Beyond Lahore stands Rohtas Fort, a military marvel never breached by enemy forces. Its walls stretch across hills, its gates massive and intimidating. Yet even here, beauty finds a way through carved stone and calligraphy. Even older still is Taxila, a city of learning long before modern universities existed. Scholars from across Asia came here to study philosophy, medicine, mathematics, and religion. Its ruins whisper of an era when ideas travelled freely across borders that did not yet exist. And then there is the desert fortress of Derawa, rising from the Cholistan sands like a mirage. 40 massive bastions form a perfect square against the horizon. Wind howls through empty passages. Peacocks wander freely. It stands not because it is remembered, but because it endured. Modern Pakistan also looks forward. In Islamabad, the Faisal Mosque breaks architectural tradition with bold angles and vast open space. Inspired by a Bedouin tent, it stands beneath the Margala Hills as a place of reflection through simplicity. Further south, Hingol National Park reveals landscapes that seem alien. Mud volcanoes bubble, rock formations resemble statues. One, called the Princess of Hope, stands alone against the desert, shaped entirely by erosion. Nearby lies one of the most sacred Hindu temples in the region, drawing pilgrims each year. And finally, the road winds through Buzi Pass, where limestone cliffs rise like walls around a narrow highway. Silence dominates. At night, the stars appear close enough to touch. It is a place without crowds, without noise, without narrative imposed upon it. Pakistan is not one story. It is many, layered and unfinished. A land of extremes, of beauty hidden behind misunderstanding. Those who see it only through fear never truly see it at all. Because beyond the noise, beyond the headlines, exists a country shaped by time, resilience, and wonder. And once you witness it, you begin to understand how much of the world remains unseen simply because no one stopped to look.